Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
The Luna Foundation has continued to stack up Bitcoin, an additional 4.1 thousand of them. Recent purchase brings the total to 40,000 Bitcoin owned by the foundation, translating to about 1.7 billion. And that basically means that $8.3 billion still has to be bought, which is crazy. But also, if you start to think about the value of what they are buying right now, they bought another $180 million worth. It is insane. Having said that, we have a couple of pieces of juicy news, like for example for my XRP fans. If you are an XRP holder, make sure you press that like button. We got some juicy news because Michael Jordan NFTs are coming to the XRP ledger as XRP sees an incredible momentum in new use cases. Well, apparently, Ripple is putting its very best foot forward to put in about $1 billion for the creator fund. And apparently here, it says there's a $250 million commitment to support creators by providing them with the necessary tools, financial support, etc. But as far as I know, they're doing $1 billion. I'm not exactly sure how that little, situation is set up, in the sense of maybe it's like $250 million a year and they just got themselves $1 billion to spread it out or something like that. But apparently Michael Jordan is coming over, which is very interesting. The most recent addition to the list of NFT creators on the ledger has been Rare Air Media, producer of ex-NBA champion Michael Jordan's visual autobiography, For the Love of the Game. Rare Air Media intends to create NFTs on the XP ledger for the former NBA star, with the first batch of NFTs expected to be launched at the second quarter of this year, which again could be a very big use case for XRP. But if you guys all remember, I personally think the price is going to reflect like this. Hype pieces like this, for example, can always bump the price up by little margins, but generally speaking, it'll be XRP winning the lawsuit, bam, number one. XRP getting relisted, spike number two. And then again, XRP's utility boom, which will basically be when some of these announcements happen or so after the lawsuit is over. Because right now people are less ecstatic to buy into something which they think might fail, and the people who believe in it have already got their bags full anyway because they know it's an easy 10x, or at least they assume so. Again, remember, why would somebody buy into the utility of XRP if they don't think it's going to survive? And if they do think it's going to survive, then why wouldn't they just buy at every point? Because if they win the lawsuit, it'll be an easy moneymaker anyway. Hopefully you guys get my drift with that. Now, if you've been investing into Bitcoin for a little while, you probably know that Bitcoin's 5-year returns outperform world's major indices, the average return on investment, by 1,645%. Just wanted you guys to know that anybody who's invested in crypto for a little while has made a freaking huge amount of money over the last 5 years. Now, of course, there's different margins, and at the end of the day, if you, I'm just thinking about it. If you didn't do it properly, if you were only buying the craziest stupid coins, you might actually be down like 90% of your money because a lot of coins died out and never recovered. But if you've been investing in a smart manner, which I hopefully am also explaining every single time on the channel, it's not advice, but hopefully I can teach some people some common sense in the world of investing, in the sense you always spread out your investments, never put everything in one basket, because that's stupid if you ask me. I think that's actually the only simple lesson which I try to give here. And of course the fact you can never trust one single source, always look at different places, which is why I don't just give you my opinion, I give you everything that I found on the internet, and hopefully we can kind of gauge our opinion of the crypto market that way through reading everything that we find online. Remember, every one of these articles can just be false, can be lies. We try to filter out all the dirt, which is some process which I do before I show these videos. And then once we've kind of filtered out the dirt, we then look through articles, see which ones are actually really important, and then kind of go and parade through them while only keeping out the most important pieces of information, and the rest can kind of go away. You know, I don't cover drama, for example. I wouldn't cover for you guys, oh, look at the new toothpaste that just came out, or look at this new crypto that came out. That's like completely unethical, whatever. You guys know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's only if it actually has any use for us. Like, for example, this article right here in the Daily Mail. Elon Musk says people who subscribe to Twitter Premium, service Blue, should be able to pay with cryptocurrency, specifically Doge, and that the platform should ban ads. Not sure about the banning ads part, because I'm thinking that's their main income source. Then again, if they're going to go for this premium service, they can kind of get away from ads. I'm not exactly sure how many people buy Twitter ads. It's not the place you come to watch an ad, really, or where you're inclined to suppress it, I think. Here it says price should probably be like $2 a month, but paid 12 months up front. Account doesn't get checkmark for 60 days. Watch for credit card chargebacks. Suspend with no refund if used for scam/spam, said Musk in a tweet. I think there's a couple of ways in which they can make it work. And $2 a month, I think most people just pay that if they're avid Twitter users because who cares? But it's only in a couple of selected countries right now, but you don't really understand as to why they would do that. Here it said, no ads, Musk suggested, power of corporations to dictate policy is greatly enhanced if Twitter depends on advertising money to survive, which is also true. And I guess he now has a little bit of power in that because he is a very big stakeholder, even the biggest stakeholder in the company, so probably has a little bit of leverage over on the board to kind of convince them to change their ways. And also, he's one of the most successful businessmen to ever live, so I understand if they were to listen to him, as he's also an avid Twitter user, which some of the people that are actually on the board of Twitter might not even be. Having said that, remember for yourself as well, Twitter people on the board, for example, some of the people on the board, they might just be avid investors, but might not actually fully understand Twitter from a user perspective, just from an investor perspective. They might think, what will bring us the best return, which is what usually the people on the board are doing. What will bring the company furthest in terms of our investment. Sometimes there's some people in there though which really care about the product or the service or whatever, and Elon Musk, I think, is one of the guys who doesn't really necessarily care about the investment value. I think he does care a little bit, like any person in this earth, you care a little bit about getting some value back from whatever you give, I think. But more importantly, I think, to just revolutionize the space, or at least in some way, shape, or form, make it better, or have his feet into everything. I'm not exactly sure what his reasons would be, but I think he has the power to help out, at least in some way, shape, or form. He says, sorry haters, this is somebody else. Seasoned market analyst says, this bullet catalyst will send Ethereum to 10,000. I've explained to you guys a dozen times before. If you see an article like this and you go fully all into it thinking, Lark Davis, for example, YouTuber, crypto guy, is a crypto analyst? Yeah, fair enough. Crypto analyst, what does that mean? Independent crypto analyst, fine, sure, I'm a crypto analyst, I guess. If you can hold their price prediction true, yeah, I don't think you can do that basically. Let me say it like this. If you're looking at those price predictions thinking, this must be the truth, this must actually happen because it's been said right now on Twitter or on YouTube, I think you need to go check out the brain surgery for a little second, maybe, or something like that, because this makes absolutely no sense. I could post up any prediction and say, yep, I analyzed it, I'm a cryptocurrency analyst because I look at it every single day and I analyze the charts or whatever, it's going to happen now. But that's not how it works, So just if you're seeing somebody say a price like that, see if it's based upon something very logical in the short term. If we're naming, for example, EIP 1559, for example, for Ethereum, just saying it's scarce now. Look at this, for example, the proposal, the burning, it's not going to make it go to 10,000 instantly or even in time. It could, but it's not the main point. In that sense, every scarce asset should theoretically speaking be increasing in value, right? Or is it because they're going to proof of stake? None of these parts necessarily have to pump the price, they just could. Because again, you got to remember, since people are getting a return, even though it's deflationary, there is a return on the Ethereum that you stake. That by definition puts selling pressure into people's hands, and so that doesn't always reflect in the price increasing over medium terms. But my point was just actually to be cautious whenever you see a price prediction like that, and to question whether or not it's true. Same thing for here. People get excited by 100x, 1000x, and for example, if we're talking about XRP or even a lot of cryptos like I guess a Solana even, I do assume that those prices will drastically increase over periods of time, right? If we're talking about a couple years, I think they'll do amazing. But Miami Bitcoin conference ends on a Bitcoin at 100x by 2023 note. Is it possible? Sure. Does it make sense to say that though? Absolutely not. People get excited for it though, they like to hear it. But it doesn't make a lot of sense. And here, for example, it says some NFT development plans should put Ethereum at a 100x increase by 2023. Not exactly sure if they said the same thing about Bitcoin. It was mostly about Ethereum, I think. About Bitcoin, Peter Thiel specifically said, "We're going to try expose them and realize that this is sort of what we have to fight for. Bitcoin will go up 10 times or 100 times from here." I'm not exactly sure if they said 100x or 100% by 2023. I think in the official quote, it was actually 100% by 2023 for Bitcoin and 100x for Ethereum or something like that. Let's see. Here we have one, for example. Another prominent public figure, Jason Urban, a top official from Galaxy Digital, said in an interview with Kitco News that both Bitcoin and Ethereum could go up by 100% in Q2 of 2023 or by that time. Yeah, but generally speaking, people think the value will go up drastically over the next couple of months or years. I think the same thing. But saying 100x or so without any backing except for saying, yeah, demand, people, Bitcoin's use case. I think that's kind of hard to put it at a certain value at a certain time. Let's just know that over time it will generally speaking go up. We can pull up any chart, but I don't think it's going to matter. It's mostly just based upon the idea that this use case is increasing drastically. The demand is, logically speaking, increasing drastically. And so if there's going to be more demand and we see some huge institutions buying it on the side as well, not letting it go, creating additional scarcity, and the price would, generally speaking, increase. And then about Cardano, just a little fun part. A close below this mark would bolster a further pullback. I like to talk about this very often because I, of course, like to look at the charts. For right now, though, I would say just wait for Bitcoin, watch for Bitcoin. Cardano already broke down towards the downside. If you didn't open a short right there, for example, yeah, I mean, right now is, I guess, a little waiting period for yourself then, because that was a critical point over on the 4-hourly. Once we broke down, you had that little confirmation. You could have taken it depending on how you drew this specific bottom line here for the channel. But if you took it a little bit above and it actually, this little candle right here, fell outside of your channel, you got the confirmation afterwards, you could have shorted. Could have been a nice little trade towards this specific 200 EMA on a 4-hour chart. Not sure if I would have taken this. I did not do it. But if I had seen it, of course, I'm not sure if I would have taken it actually, because the crypto space is in a little bit of a mixed feelings right now. But what I saw on Twitter was, for example, the guy from Grayscale and CoinDesk, not exactly sure his name is anymore, Barry, whatever. Let's call him Barry.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.